Hey, how are you guys doing? I wanted to release this earlier, but I haven't had the time. I finally want to talk about the Nijigaku OVA called Next Sky. So of course this is available in theaters in Japan, or if you get the Blu-ray as well. I was kind of waiting on dubbed, so I had a good idea what was happening, and I got a pretty good idea without the dubs with my stupidly limited Japanese. But the dubs are also there to help you as well, and me to fill in the extra details. But without a further ado, let's go and talk about the OVA. Of course, this last ended up with Ayumu going to London. But actually, the way this one starts is a song by Rebirth, so let's get a preview of that song, Feel Alive.
It's beginning to be
So I guess Rebirth has to get a song in the anime as well, since all the other ones got it, but there was not any dance or anything, just a bunch of looked at a bunch of different places. It looks nice. The song is a little slow, but it's got a little rap. I think it's a decent song, but not my favorite Rebirth song. But let's just jump straight into the OVA. I'm sure you guys want to know what happens. It starts off with Rebirth saying, "Thank you for support for the concert." We jump into the airport, and they are going to see Ayumu again because she just came back from London, and she is bringing somebody with her, which of course is Aira. And of course this is the first time we get a little listen to Setsuna's new seiyuu. Yeah, so that's Coco Hayashi, and I gotta say it's really weird to listen to a different voice voicing Setsuna. I think she does a good job of capturing the essence and the energy of Setsuna. Setsuna is lively, she got a bit of spunk to her, and I think Coco does a pretty good job of capturing that image, and I could definitely buy it. I still prefer Tomoriru's. I think she has that a little extra flair that at least I personally like, that it's just like, whoa, I kind of like that. I don't know, it's hard for me to describe, but there's just something extra that Coco doesn't quite have. She has something different, but I still prefer the original. Maybe I'm a little tied to that, but that's Tomoriru made me really, really like Setsuna, but I still think she does a pretty good job. But anyways, let's jump back to the actual story. So Setsuna is ready with her special confetti cannon, ready to attack whoever comes out, and they know Ayumu is supposed to be coming out first, so they go ahead and ready the confetti cannon and fire, and they fire, and who do they hit? Not Ayumu. So who is this girl? So if you don't remember, her name is Aira, and she was from London. She was one of the girls that Ayumu meets there, and she is brought back to become a school idol. So they bring her back to the club, and she basically is a student exchange student who's going to be here for about 2 weeks, and they're going to do their best to show her the ropes on how to be a school idol, because that's not a thing in London, it's a Japan thing. So with that, they're going to bring her around and show her the place. So the first place they go is UTX, the most famous school. That is, of course, where Arai started. That's where we saw Muse, and that inspired Muse. And it was kind of cool to, see UTX again. But we don't really get to see too much interiors. Just the girls walking around on the outside of that school. And this, of course, then begins a little trip down memory lane, as we get to see a bunch of the old places from Love Live. So they go to Chambara and decided they get to see a poster for Numazu, which of course that is where Love Live Sunshine happens. And you get to see all that bright orange text and Mika, which of course Chico loves so much. And if you look in the back, they have a poster, which this is for Hasuna, so the Link Love Live Girls. I actually did not notice that the first time I watched it. So you didn't get past me this time. So they did find a way to bring in those girls as well. But let's go back to Muse, right? We haven't talked about Muse, so we're going to visit the Kanda Myojin Shrine. Of course, that is the shrine that Nozumi was at, and the girls have visited this a lot. This is just a big, famous, actual in real life location where a bunch of Love Live fans love doing their pilgrimages here. Of course, we had to see the steps, which leads to the Kanda Myojin Shrine as well, where we saw a bunch of the girls exercise climbing up these stairs. And then we saw this where I guess I never expected Love Live to rip themselves off with a rip-off Kotori or Grono Kotori, whatever you want to call this. But they said, we gotta go to a maid cafe that just happens to look like Kotori. So what do? They decide, well, we gotta go in, right? So they go in and take some photos as being maids. So they also go and do some shopping, and they find the Kasumi box plush, which you can also get in real life, and they have it for all the girls. So that's definitely kind of cute. And then they go on a boat where they just have some nice food, sushi, and all that good stuff. Then they go to Harajuku. This is where we're of course going to see some references to Love Live Superstar, if I'm not mistaken. And I think this tree was from Love Live Superstar, but while they're there, the girls get noticed and they get ambushed and kind of get to take some photos. But then Kasumi's like, what about me? And then she gets really crazy happy when some people recognize her because, you know, that's her thing. But then they all basically did a bunch of showing around and decided, you know what, let's do a mini life together. So they decided to get her ready, do some exercises to get her ready for that. And meanwhile, we have Ayumu who's walking around with Chihiriko, and Chihiriko is kind of talking, and Ayumu realizes that Chihiriko is kind of like Aira, but Chihiriko's like, but she's prettier than me, and I'm pretty cold and harsh, and I don't have much of a personality, and she's kind of down on herself. But then the mini life happens. We get to see her wear the outfits of Ayumu and the Love You My Friends outfits. But then Ayumu was talking with Chihiriko and doing a call and noticed that something was off. So Chihiriko notices something and then chases down Aira. And when she does find Aira, she saw that your school idol club application was rejected, meaning that the club can't be a thing. So she asks, well, does that mean you can give up? And Aira says, yeah, I'm basically giving up because, you know, it's not a thing in Japan, or in London, it's only a thing in Japan. But then all the girls come together and try to cheer her up and say, you know what, we can help you out and you shouldn't give up. So Chihiriko does this, where have I seen this before? And she puts herself in a ponytail. And you know what, that's right, it is song time. Chihiriko's gonna channel her inner Setsuna, Ayumu, whatever you want to say, and they're gonna do the song Go Our Way. So we get the song, and it starts with Chihiriko doing her stuff, and it'll eventually transition it to do Rebirth, but there's a lot of nice visuals that you get to see here. And I also kind of liked how they just vanished in the middle of the MV. I thought that was kind of cool of a fact, and I don't know if there's anything special, but I thought that was kind of nice. But we get it kind of shifts to a little bit of a Rebirth moment towards the early, and then eventually the rest of the girls will join. I'm definitely getting more of like that Road Run Victory Road kind of vibes from this song. It's a lot more neon lights and effects, kind of that, but that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from the song. Not really my kind of vibe, but it is definitely a pretty MV for sure. So with the end of this MV, that inspires Aira to basically give it a shot and try with her friend in London to see if they can be idols, and that's about it for this OVA. So it goes ahead and jumps to another song, Singing Dreaming Now. So this one was kind of interesting. So of course we got the drawn out art style, which it's very reminiscent of all the other ending themes we had before. And this one of course was focused on photos. But one of the cool things is we got actual video, real life video of places, but then they put up the photos and had the girls cover their location. So it shows, you know, where it got inspired from actual real life places. I really like this, honestly. That was, I don't know, it's just something nice about it. I would say this is probably my favorite song of the ones from this OVA, but this was just a nice treat to have. It's nice and mellow, and I don't know, I just kind of like this effect that they did with the video. So that will be the ending theme, and then we get a little more snippet. We got the girls, they were going to basically have to write out their reflections, and I'm just like, I don't want to do this. But then while they're working on, you find a video of Aria, and she's, you know, next to the London Bridge, I'm pretty sure, and she's like, I'm not in the school idol club, but I'm going to be a school idol, and basically, yeah, the things worked and she's gonna continue fighting and trying to be an idol. So then the girl's like, alright, well, you can't lose to her. So hopefully you don't. It's just 2 versus 13 and you guys are more experienced. So then, last but not least, is one more song. Yes, that's right, 4 songs. The Wawawa What's Up. So let's get a preview of that. So we actually kind of got like the full song here, and the first half it was just credits, but the second half they had a bunch of messages, I'm assuming based on real people. And yes, there are some messages in English. I did find some, but you know, you got to see a bunch of girls with a message, and you also got to see a little bit of these 2 girls that we've seen before. But past that, then we got one little more snippet, the teaser, and what's next? School Idol GPX. So that's the teaser for what's coming up in the future Nijigaku. Of course, this is going to be part of the 3-part movie series that they talked about. That's going to be coming out. The first part going to be coming out later in 2024. So we'll have to see what this means. But I guess this is some big competition, I guess, because we don't have Love Live. So instead we're going to have like GPX, I don't know, Grand Prix seems about right of what that could mean. So maybe some big competition, so look forward to seeing what that could potentially be. But that will be it for the OVA. Not like a dramatic amount of things happen. Basically, Aira comes in, shows her a bunch of plays around, and it's like, you can be school idol, and she's like, but I don't know. And they're like, no, you can do it. And she's like, okay, and then she went back home. That's kind of the summary. Of course, the big thing about this OVA that's really special is that they had 4 new songs. Now, we only have 1 song that was with actual dancing and whatnot. The first one was just the Rebirth song, but it just had a bunch of still images, and they look nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not as exciting as, you know, girls dancing around. We had the Anything, which, I mean, it's similar to other Any themes. I like that one, it's a nice song. And then we had the last song, which was paired with the credits. But 4 songs though, that was way more than I was expecting from an OVA. I was expecting 1, maybe 2. But 4, that's definitely a nice treat. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this OVA in the comments below, and what was your favorite song from this, and what do you look forward to going to future. It's nice getting confirmation that we know this is not the end of Nijigaku, especially when All Stars is dying. It's kind of like no new content for Nijigaku potentially after this. It could be GG for Nijigaku, but it's not. So I'm curious to see, because 3 movies, dear lord, that could keep us entertained for Nijigaku for quite some time. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope to catch you guys in another video soon.